What's the matter with the something or other? Let's talk about cartoon quote motion and quote pictures and go cartoonnessly. Cartoonnessly quote motion and go quote pictures and go cartoonnessly. Cartoonnessly quote motion and go quote pictures and go cartoonnessly. It goes like this. Perspectives. 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 Alternate take and an alternate song. Perspectives. 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 So how about the quote motion, cartoonnessly? How about the quote motion, go picture and go cartoonnessly? Cartoonnessly, how about the cartoon quote motion and go picture and go cartoonnessly? It goes like this. We're all watching, oh Sly, oh yeah, Sly, oh we see you, we see what you're doing, yeah. You're being yourself, you're being Sylvester non-cartoonly, you're being Sylvester the non-gacho-ness of it all. But why doesn't Sylvester cartoonly mumble to the same cartoon depth, the cartoon gravitousness as in the motion picture cartoon first, cartoon blood? Cartoonnessly, we have to ask importantes preguntitas, importantes cuestiones, no? Cartoonnessly. Because we have to take ourselves out of like, oh yeah, Sly, oh yeah, Sylvester Stallone. Oh, Sly Stallone, yeah, we got you. We know how it goes. Too cool to like enunciate a little bit better. Maybe you won't be arrested, you know. Let's go back to what I'm talking about here. So the quote motion, go picture and go. Cartoonnessly. It goes like this. The cartoon blanket, the cartoon center, this cartoon planet. Se rime con la palabra Rusano. Rusano is mocking and laughing its cartoon worminess off. His worminess off. His worminess off. Because what is a cartoon, uniformed cartoon agente? The cartoon policia going to cartoonly quote thing and go cartoonnessly. He's got an individual. He's got an individual cartoon, a cartoon individual, refusing to enunciate clearly. He's not being understood. Not every word is articulated clearly. Senor Stallone, Senor Cartoon Stallone. So this cartoon uniform cartoon officer is going, arrest him on cartoon vagrancy, or because he's being belligerent. He's being cartoon belligerent. His cartoon belligerence depth is cartoonnessly clear. Something is amiss. All this cartoon uniform, cartoon agente says that something is amiss. All I'm doing is asking him simple questions. You go, well, it's not your real business. I'm going to act belligerent because the screenwriter, author, cartoonnessly wrote it in. I'm supposed to act belligerent. Is he deliberately belligerent or is he indirectly belligerent? Indirectly. Is he deliberately or indeliberately belligerent? Well, I guess the cartoon cartoonnessly never said. Sylvester, I know you're doing your thing, but you know, not every word is being enunciated articulately, clearly. Not every word is cartoonnessly, not every cartoon word is cartoonnessly intelligible. Cartoonnessly, Senor non-gato. Senor cartoon non-gato. I cannot understand every word, and I'm the director, and I know the screenplay pages go like this, but suddenly it occurred to me earlier this evening, Michael Curtis, it occurred to me. The interwiresnesses of everything says, is there an underpinnings for why Senor Stallone was arrestado en cartoon esposas? Was it cartoon vagrancy, or was it this cartoon mother blank deserves to be arrested because he is behaving cartoonly belligerently, cartoonnessly. He is not cartoonnessly respondiendo a las preguntas directamente. He is evading very basic questions about his whereabouts. I mean, his purposes here, his goals and purposes in this village of this cartoon town, this cartoon pueblito. So let me break it down cartoonishly like this. Senor cartoon blank, the actor, cartoon blank. So here we go about Ryan Benahi. Ryan Genahy. Okay, we've all seen this, right? So he's going, he could be thinking like, I feel like a random mother blank myself, but I'm in a cartoon uniform and you're not. And you're behaving like a cartoon blank that doesn't have a badge and doesn't have a gun. Pretty sure you don't have a gun somewhere in your body, right? Right? Did he do a full strip search? No idea. Okay. So the cartoon uniform cartoon agente is saying, all I know is I'm trying to get these questions answered, and all I hear is, well, it's none of your business. But the implication is it's really none of your goddamn business. What is the factfulness? It's really no one's goddamn business. Except that one of those guys has a badge, a cartoon badge. One of those two micro worms has a cartoon badge, and one of them has a cartoon gun. The same individual has a cartoon badge and has a cartoon gun. Hint. What does the cartoon uniform cartoon agente say to himself, to itself, when it asks a question directly and it gets an indirect? I'm just kind of waking. I'm waking my May through. I'm waking my May through cartoonishly. Who knows what I'm doing? I'm waking my May through cartoonishly. But it's more chupacabra. Let's be really, really real for a moment. Does Senor blank blanks, does cartoon blank have any cartoon leg to cartoon stand on at all? Not really. Let's go deeper. Does he have a little bit of a leg to stand on cartoon stand? That he cannot get a direct, enunciated, intelligible respuesta. Cartoonishly. He cannot get a cartoon respuesta that is clear, that is clearly, enunciatedly clear. Cannot get a respuesta cartoonishly. Cannot get a cartoonist respuesta. Cartoonishly cannot get a cartoon respuesta cartoonishly clear. Cartoonishly. Boom, I got it out. All this cartoon uniform cartoon officer knows, it's cartoon, let's call him a cartoon uniform cartoon agente, is that it appears to seem that somebody is having a moment of belligerence on someone else's time clock. So is he arrestado en cartoon vagrancy? Well, cartoonishly, no. No, I think he's arrested on belligerence. I'm trying to say, well, both. I'm trying to make a deeper point that the perspectives are shifting every cartoon millisecond on these movies, you know? Like, we're going like, oh, Slice, oh, we got your back, buddy. And we're going to be enraged in moments when this guy mistreats you because we know you're we know you're a good guy. It doesn't matter if your name rhymes with Ron Dambo. We still know you're a good guy. We individually still know that you're a good guy. Even though your name rhymes with Ron Dambo. Because why? Because we know. We just know. We know Sly Stallone doesn't play these terrible, horrible, cretinous bastards ordinarily at all, or never at all. Not really. We already knew that in 1980, didn't we? We basically knew it when this movie was probably. All right. So we knew it. We knew. So we're going, yeah, I'm not understanding. We're not taking sympathetic sides to this uniformed cartoon agente, are we? No. Because he is also getting, like, a little bit touchy-feely. And then he gets really touchy-feely, he esposas him. He gets him in cartoon esposas, doesn't he? No one is conducting marital services at a wedding chapel, a cartoon chapel. But he gets on the cartoon esposas out. He gets cartoon esposas out, he gets them lock and keyed on. Cartoon vagrancy. Everyone knows what cartoon vagrancy means. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. It means someone is somewhere where the purposes is not clear at all. Cartoonnessly. It's not clear. It's like loitering. We love words that make no sense, like loitering. No, we don't. No, we don't love them. Cartoon loitering. What does cartoon loitering cartoonly signify? Again, someone is somewhere where they don't have a direct purpose for being there. Directly, indirectly, they have no purpose. Directly, there's no purpose. Someone is taking with someone else's valuable watch time. Because, you know, the cartoon blanket, the cartoon sense, cartoon blanket, we have to be very time focused. Just kidding. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. That's all an illusion. It's cartoonnessly. Time focusedness is an illusion. Cartoonnessly. Cartoonnessly, time focusedness is an illusion. Cartoonnessly, quote time, end quote. Quote focusedness, end quote, is an illusion. Cartoonnessly. Repeat after me. I swear to God, I'm not wrong to say what I'm saying. I'm accurate. I'm accurately correct to say what I'm saying. But I'm identifying something that's completely incorrect, so I'm saying I'm accurately accurate to state directly what I am stating directly. Quote time, end quote, quote orientedness, end quote, is a fallacy. It is an illusion. Time focusedness, quote unquote, is an illusion. The only moment that exists is now. Here and nowness exists. 61 minutes from now does not exist. Because the planet, theoretically, at minimum, could explode in 60 minutes from now. Rendering my 61-minute example moot if that would happen. If that should happen, which it shouldn't. It's not going to, but if the planet exploded in 60 minutes, at the moment I said in 61 minutes, the only way that in 61 minutes that will be the here and now is if there's nothing. But the present moment is always now. Now is always now. In 61 minutes, now will be now, but then will be now. But if you're one of those individuals like myself, that you never knew the date and time unless you were in line at the bank, in a cartoon fila non zapato non tennis non shoe, non zapatia de tenis, a non sneaker of a bank line, Did you ever know the date other than when you're standing there going, oh, I think the last birthday party I attended was, let's see, about a week and a half ago. Let's see, carry the 1, carry the 10, carry the 7. Try to remember a date that stood out, even though we don't have I don't have an eidetic. What does that mean? It means someone is very, very bored. Or they have a very special gift that all of us don't, we don't need to be thinking about dates. If I know the day of the week within a second or two or a fraction of a second or two, I think I'm doing okay. I am one of those weirdos that says numbers are mostly entirely erroneously not necessary. Not necessarily not necessary. Cartoonnessly. Think about it. If we didn't have someone that we knew that had a birthday every month, some of us would never know the date. Nor time. I mean, we wouldn't know the date. Because we're always like carrying the 1 or the 7 or the 10 from the last birthday of someone that we were. And that was only when we had to go to the bank and write checks and like deposit stuff that we couldn't do in a machinaria, in a cartoon machinaria labeled an A-T-M-A, machina. So let's get back to the topic here. Let's be clear when I say Senor Blank is mumbling his words cartoonnessly. He's not intelligible. Up to 90% of the time, I'm straining to hear anything he says. Was Cartoon Blank, or Cartoon Senior Cartoon Blank, so you're going, Daloon. Slightly stricken of a saloon. Was he deliberately attempting to obscure his language? No. Was John Rambo deliberately attempting to obscure his language? No. He did not desirably want to be arrested that afternoon or that morning, whatever it was. That morning, early in the morning. He didn't want to be arrested. Because had he not been arrested, he wouldn't have to play military weirdo in Lost in the Forest all alone by himself. Wrestling and murdering jabalís with his bare hands. warthogs with bare hands. With cartoon machetes. He wouldn't have to do any of that. Using a makeshift piece of cartoon canvas for a cartoon jacket would not have been necessary. Had Senior cartoon Blink, minded his own business, well. But what's my deeper point? We only see our own individual perspectives when we see Sly Stone in the movie, right? We don't see we don't want to be like taking the side of the villains. No, I'm not taking the side. I'm saying, but seriously, he doesn't speak up. In all seriousness, he speaks very mumbly. He mumbles his palabritas, no? I'm speaking sincerely, bluntly, honestly. I am not at all saying that Senior Blink, let me go back about Rennehy and Lennehy. I'm not saying that the human being he portrayed was correct. But did he perceive cartoon belligerence that was obscured deliberately, subtextually deliberately by the cartoon blanket, the cartoon center, the cartoon blanket? Did he perceive cartoon belligerence? Did he cartoonly perceive cartoon belligerence? Cartoonly, subtextually, cartoonly woven into the cartoon script that was deliberately obscured from our individual eyeballs, cartoonessly. Our individual cartoon eyeballs, there was an obscurance! And this planet has been in states, and in quote, states of abhorrences. Because of all the deliberateness of obscurances. Obscuringnesses, let's say. Weird words like that. This cartoon planet has been deliberately defrauded. Well, it's been deliberately under cartoon attacks textually and subtextually at all of us. Exemplified by the cartoon subtextualnesses that they're not written in. They're there. They are there. They are there for the grabbing and the non-asking. They're there for the taking that observationally. I am saying, what happens if police officers have had a rough day and they meet a guy, a cartoon dude, that they intuit disrespectfulness as whether it's deliberate or not. Whether it's deliberate or not. We know that Senior Blank, Seragon, Rolone, and Delone was not deliberately being belligerent. No. Not deliberately. That wasn't written in. Or I'm almost 100% sure that wasn't written in. That wouldn't make any sense. He doesn't want to be arrested, cartoonessly. He does not non-desirely wants to be arrested that morning. He's trying to get through that small village of a tiny pueblito, cartoonessly, to get to somewhere he really wants to go, which is, we don't know. We don't know where he wants to go, really. Not really. We know he's a former Vietnam vet. He's a Vietnam veteran. Or was it the Korean War? Exactly. There's all the interwirings, interweavings. But we know he's a Vietnam War veteran, cartoonessly, but we don't know what he's doing walking through that town. Why does he have a bus pass? Does Senior Blink have a point? Senior Rennehy. He could be like, where's your money? Why don't you just take a bus? Why are you walking through? Don't you at least have a metal cartoon PC Clayton, like ding, 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 like Pee-wee Herman, like cartoon Pee-wee. Cartoon Herman has a bicycle. Why don't you have a cartoon bicycle? Cartoonessly, why doesn't your hands possess bicycle handlebars? Un manejar de bicicleta. Cartoonessly. Like, he could say, like, why are you walking through here?
Well, I was a corporate gymnast before I became a World War II vet. I've been a Vietnam War veteran.
He's working on his leg muscles by walking everywhere. He's hitchhiking. Are we to imagine he's been hitchhiking this whole time? Yeah, this quote whole time, Cartoonnessly. We don't know. We don't know how long it's been going on. He appears to be in his 30s or 40s. He's been going on a while, I guess. Okay, it is deliberate that we don't know where he's going. He might as well not know where he's going. Sylvester Stallone might do well to know where he is going as that human portrayal. But that human being that is being portrayed by Sylvester Stallone doesn't need to know where he's going. But he should. He should know where he's going. He is ambling along a highway. Appears to maybe have been hitchhiking for a while. I don't know. That is never made intelligently. It's never made deliberately clear. Deliberately, it's made unclear. Notice all the ways things can be made deliberately clearly clearest, and they stay deliberately unclearly uncleared. How about that? Things can be easily cleared up by anybody resembling to a divine spark of energies. Anyone divinely intelligent, anyone spiritually soulfully evolved, to be honest. Anyone spiritually soulfully intelligent. Okay. We're going to write a script. He's going to be, let's say he's been hitchhiking a while. He's trying to get through this town, this small village of whatever, Maine, whatever, New Hampshire, whatever, Vermont. He is trying to get to his, I think he tries to explain something, but it's like, it's not intelligibly clear, no. Let me get to the heart of the matter. It's not deliberate on the part of Senior Stallone. It's not deliberate on the part of John Rambo. It's not deliberate. It is deliberate on the part of the cartoon worm, the cartoon sim, the cartoon millennium. Cartoonnessly. Because there is a subtextualist and a textualist to why he is arrested. He could very easily appear to seem to be behaving belligerently on purpose, deliberately. By what?
Well, it's like, if you can't understand my enunciation, speech impediments, that's your problem.
Are we aware that someone has a bit of a speech impediment? Well, a little bit. But the cartoon worm is very, very aware of it. Very, very aware of it. Very, very aware of it. But knows that Senior Stallone have built up a reputation of being a good guy from the Rocky movies. Already by 1980, 1981. Knows that we are going to be outraged at levels by the way he is mistreated by Senior Blank. So we're going Rennie and Lenny and Sonny. Knows that we will be outraged because we you know, Sylvester Stallone already by 1980, I think Nighthawks was when we first began to really take an immediate resonance of, oh no, I'm tossing out nonsense for a reason. I'm doing this on purpose. No, but this is not nonsense. No, we began to feel that he was portraying good human beings with a soul in the body, for example. Poor him. But why does cartoon blank not enunciate clearly intelligibly? Why? And could it easily be mistaken for belligerence? Yes! Yes! Yes, it could easily be mistaken for belligerence, deliberateness of belligerence. Now I've gotten to my deeper point. What I'm saying is we're supposed to be, let's hear it for the hero of the movie, which is John Rambo. But John Rambo might have a little bit of enunciation speech courses to take. John Rambo doesn't articulate as well as Rocky Balboa articulates himself. Why not? Rocky Balboa wasn't being accosted by police officers in Rocky Part 1, Rocky Part 2, Rocky Part 3. In Rambo Parte Uno, he is accosted by a cartoon officer in a cartoon uniform. Accosted means, in case anyone doesn't know, you're stopped in what you're doing. Someone stops you and says, hey, excuse me, can I borrow $1? In that instance, borrow means I'm never going to pay you back. But someone can say in a foreign country where everyone's poor, can I borrow $1, please? Okay, sidebar that immediately. What I'm saying is, very important. Cartoon blank. So we're going Ryan Senahi, and Ryan Lenahy, and Ryan Zenahi. It's a very small, let's call it a very small cartoon village, cartoon town, cartoon area. Okay. He appears to be on foot. Had he been hitchhiking, he did not articulate clearly what he was doing, or why he had to go through there. Why wasn't he with a bus pass? Why did you say, oh, here's my bus pass, I just gotta get through, I gotta get to the bus station on the other side of the town? He had a very cartoon flimsiness, his cartoon quote articulations, cartoonist, that it was not clear deliberately. On the part of the cartoon worm was not deliberate. No, on the part of the cartoon worm was deliberately deliberate. On the part of the cartoon worm it was not deliberate, it was deliberately. That Senor Stallone did not have an articulatable speech, non-impediment. Cartoon Stallone is appearance of trying to articulate, but he's not doing well. But to a cartoon uniform gun officer, does it appear he's trying to attempt to articulate clearly? I don't think so. Not when someone has maybe had a long night shift. Alternate cartoon quote motion and quote picture. Night shift. Not when Senior Blank has had a long night shift. I don't know the name of the uniformed cartoon officer in that movie. Cartoon movie. Now he's got a long cartoon night, cartoon shift. That belligerence could be taken as a deliberateness to it. A deliberateness. Like, why can't you answer the questions deliberately, clearly, directly answer as direct as I'm asking you? Why does there appear to be an evadingness to your countenance even? Like his face has got... This is very important. If Cartoon Stallone has a cartoon direct path out of that village, out of that cartoon village, into the next town, he's going to get a bus and go somewhere, God knows where. Why is the whole movie in a state of evadingness? Is that now he's lost in a forest, in a woods by himself, you know. He might as well have been making the whole thing up, and he's wasting his time and everyone else's time too, because that's what the cartoon officer thinks. Cartoon is wasting everyone's time, I guess. Okay. Is cartoonly, quote, treated, unquote, abruptly and unacceptably harshly? Yes. Does Stallone react maturely, responsibly as an adult? No! I answered as quickly. No! He is treated audaciously, terribly, and he reacts audaciously, terribly to that. So it's like that. It's a lot like. Not like. That movie sets individuals up for life decisions that are terriblest. Like if you have a terrible instructor, a cartoon instructor that's not doing well, and let's say they yell at the class a lot, you may be tempted to go off the cartoon rails on the crazy trains of non-trains. Cartoon crazy, cartoon trains of cartoon non-trains. Because you see adults, quote adults, and go cartoons. You see cartoons, quote adults, and go cartoons, going off the cartoon rails on the cartoon crazy, cartoon trains of cartoon non-trains. You yourself might say, well, see, why am I acting more mature at age 9? Or at age 10, or at age 11? Why am I acting more mature? What's the sense? I might as well toss my cookies out the window with my intellect. With my deeper soulfulness and intelligence. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it! This is a direct admonishments from me. Do not toss thy cookies out the window, but do not toss thy intellect. Do not toss thy deeper soulfulness and intelligence out any windows, out any open. I don't care if they're open or they're shut. Don't do it! Audacious inappropriateness followed by audacious inappropriateness. Audacious inappropriateness suffixed with more audacities of inappropriatenesses. Don't do it. I'm just saying don't do it. I'm saying don't do it. Don't do it. Learn from the mistakes of self. Learn from the mistakes of others. Learn what it means to be Christ-inspired and Christ-like. Learn what it means to turn the other cheek cartoonishly instead of reacting like an idiot, like someone else is already acting. Don't react like an idiot because someone else is acting like one. Don't react like an idiot because someone else is acting as one. Don't react like an idiot because someone else is acting as one. See, Jesus Christ would have told me that in 1984, 1985, and 1986, especially 1987 before the shitfire hit the fan. Before the shitfire hit the fan fire! Jesus Christ would have reminded me, don't react with nonsense because others are acting with nonsense cartoonishly. Don't do it. Do not do it. The temptation will be like a vibrating pustule of boo, boo, boo. Don't ignore the temptation, transcend it. Be intelligent. Cartoonist, it's very difficult. Jesus would have said you have to transcend it. Cartoonishly, non-cartoonishly. But you have to transcend it cartoonishly first. The temptations, the cartoon temptations will feel like a bulbous pulsatingness of boom, 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 boom. While everyone appears to be going a bit haywire, you can be disciplined. If you know that your interior core of strength is stronger than thouest, than they hath noticed. He'd say, Michael, you can do it. No, Jesus Christ was not allowed to admonish me, nor warn me, nor pre-warn me cartoonishly about cartoonist events of hellfire that were going to happen, like, completely unexpectedly. Cartoonishly. Situations, cartoonist situations, cartoonishly, that Jesus Christ would have done everything to warn me. Pre-warn me, cartoonishly, like, not like, he would have said, do be aware there's going to be some really rough patch coming up in 5th grade. Please, in that grade after 4th grade, be aware it's going to get a little bit rocky. Speaking of Sly Stallone movies, it's going to get a little bit rocky, Michael. You can toe the course. You can do it. But you have to learn something very, very pre-valuable. You have to learn something very pre-valuable. You have to transcend blank to be in states, nor in quote states, and go to blamingness. Blamingness is, which is going to be very difficult unless I explain to you a few other things. I was meaning to get to these two. That there's a cartoon blank, that wants to impinge at every single individually. When it is collectively collective, occasionally, like the, what is it, that virus, I'd say. But wants it to be felt harder than pulled up a slate, individual. Doesn't want there to be a resonance of strength in collectivity. Wants individuals to feel alonely isolated in a room of 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 of their peers, cartoonishly. So yeah, he'd say yeah. You are going to feel so isolated in a room of 20, 30, 40, 50 of your individual peers. Even though thy spiritual endowments exceed his, her, their own of others, you are going to feel a cartoon thickness of cartoon walls. Only to be avoided by strict adherence to disciplineness. You don't have to go out for sports. You don't have to go out for athletic sports, but do consider an athletic discipline, if not a military discipline. This would be helpful. Christ would say. You'll learn this later on, though, if something goes terribly wrong. Which if the cartoon worm has its cartoon blank of unquotable. If the cartoon worm has its cartoon blank of non-ways, it will go wrongest, Michael. Look at what, quote, occurred, end quote, while my time on earth was hellfire. Do not expect non-rough, non-sleddings. Do not expect non-rough of non-sleddings. Do not expect non-rough of non-sleddings. Michael Cartoon. Jesus Christ, the cartoon blank does a real job smearing everything. All the cartoon tragedies of cartoon historical cartoon individuals, present momently. At those moments, they were present, cartoon momently. So cartoonly harshly, quote treated and quote, with cartoon disdainfulnesses, of cartoon hostilities, of cartoon hatefulnesses. Do not expect none. This is what Jesus Christ would have stated directly had he been capacitated to give me sincerest admonishings and consejos del corazón. I almost cannot say it. Consejos del corazón. Consejos del corazón. Ay, que me dan this one. Jesus Christ would have warned me, pre-warned me. Is that the cartoon blank would try to make it seem like the micro blank were the ones doing the impingings. No? That they were not blank blank. Cartoonnessly blank. Cartoonnessly blank. Cartoonnessly. Cartoonnessly blank. Cartoonnessly blank. Cartoonnessly. Cartoonnessly blank. Cartoonnessly blank. Cartoonnessly. Like radio controlled microbots, occasionally, not occasionally. Cartoonnessly. Individuals behave manipulatedly. And I've said, through no fault of their own, should be the title of something. Through no fault of their own, should be the title of something. Through no fault of their own, should be the title of something. Ooh. This planet is cartoonly, brutally harsh. It is unacceptably to a deity, to anybody with a divine spark of ignitions. It is unacceptably unacceptable. This cartoon line. There is nothing non-unjustness about, quote it, end quote, cartoonnessly. Buenas noches.